Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video, folks. In this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about taming the Fjordhawk. Now, this is a very easy creature to tame on paper, of course. So basically the idea is if you come to this location where I'm at and you start killing off creatures, you will see that the Fjordhawks will hover above you and of course they will start to feed. Now, here's what is the problem. They will only take 3 bites to consume the corpse, and of course as you walk about there are plenty of Fjordhawks, so getting the one that you want tamed, of course, is quite problematic. On top of that, with all the creatures that you kill here, of course, you won't really get a lot of taming, so of course the taming effectiveness is a bit problematic. So I'm just going to show you the map location. I will post it on the screen now. So that's where I'm at. You can see I've circled it. Now, of course, the idea is you get the attention of the Fjordhawk by being around in the area where the Fjordhawk is. It will follow you, and then you have to go around killing creatures, which can be somewhat challenging because you will find loads of creatures, but unfortunately even more Fjordhawks. So trying to tame something like this is a bit fiddly as well. It can take quite a lot of time, so there is a possibility of possibly killing off the ones you don't want, but again, you will always have stragglers that you don't want feeding on the corpses that you are trying to create for the one that you want to tame. So it does kind of complicate the situation. So with that being said and done, I have run some tests. I'm going to show you what doesn't work. So one thing I did is I tried spawning in Rexes just to see how that would affect the taming effectiveness of the Fjordhawk. Unfortunately, that one kind of fell in the water, but I played around with many Rexes, played around with all sorts of creatures, tamed and wild, and the problem that I came across was that the Fjordhawk would only kill it or consume it in 3 bites. It would not get a lot of taming, and of course, as I tried this and tried to control it by only having 1 or 2 Fjordhawks, I always ended up having Fjordhawks that would appear or respawn or spawn next to me, and so trying to keep just 1 Fjordhawk is a bit problematic to tame it, to say the least. On top of that, of course, they don't get a lot of taming from killing the Rexes. Now, I've tried a lot of variations. I've even used some rock golems, and of course I'm going to show you what happened with those. Now, I've also seen people use rock elementals and ice elementals to try and tame the Fjordhawk. So what I've done is I have spawned in a rock elemental, then admin killed it, and whilst I'm waiting here, as you can see, no Fjordhawks are interested. Now, I don't know if they flew away or what, but of course, I am persistent, if anything, and I will keep trying. We'll see what happens here, if we can get a Fjordhawk. I can't see anything actually focusing on this. I'm sure there were Fjordhawks around this area, so I'm just having a good look here. Let's have a look at another location. If not, might have to move, and we'll spawn in another one, we'll kill it, and we'll see what the Fjordhawks actually do. So sometimes, as you can see with the rock elementals, they don't really seem to want to come. Alright, this time around we're going for a ice elemental. We'll tame it and then admin kill it just to see what happens with the Fjordhawks. I know there are some around, and there we go, there is 1 Fjordhawk. So as you can see, it is taking bites out of the carcass, so to speak, but we are not getting any taming on it. Now, of course, I know what is causing this, and I will show you exactly what the problem is later in this video. Once we get to that point, I'm going to show you exactly how to tame this and be really good at it, tame it really quick with a lot of effectiveness in terms of taming, so you will get those extra levels. And we're going to compare it between 2 very good creatures to use for the Fjordhawks. Okay, so I've wasted enough time showing you what does not work and why it doesn't work. Let me show you what works. As you can see here, we have a tamed rock elemental. This is a 150 perfect tame. And over there we have some Ovis. And one is a 150 perfect tame, and the other ones are also 150 perfect tames with all of the levels that they got into health. This is quite important right there because, well, I'm going to show you actually. So let's find a 150 Fjordhawk, spawn it in, wait for it to follow us around, and then I'm going to show you exactly what happens, what works, how it works, and why it works. So over here we have the rock elemental. I'm going to use the S+ demo gun to kill it, and just watch what the Fjordhawk does. Hold on a bit. Here we go. Eventually. So it'll land, it'll start eating, and it will start taming. So the question is, why did it not work the first time around? Well, that is quite important. I admin killed it. So basically the way it will work with any and all creatures that you kill for the Fjordhawk is that the last killing blow has to come from you, the player, so that you can actually tame it. So that's why it did not work on the previous rock elementals. When I tested it, I was using the admin command. This is quite an important thing. Now, of course, as you can see right here, the rock elemental does take quite a few hits for the body to be consumed. So as far as I know, all other creatures will be consumed within 3 bites. So this is quite important. If you want to tame multiple Fjordhawks, just basically get yourself a tamed rock elemental. I'm pretty sure the level does not matter for this particular case, but it will, of course, tame you a Fjordhawk. At a catch, of course, check the level out. So it's only 217. I'll go and get rid of this, and then I'll show you how to get those extra levels on the Fjordhawk with the use of an Ovis. So if you want the extra levels on the Fjordhawk, what you have to do, of course, let's get one in here. We're going to summon this one, get its attention, let it follow us. And I'm going to show you the difference between the Ovis that I tamed at level 150 perfect tame versus the Ovis that I tamed at 1 level perfect tame and then leveled it up and put all its points into health. So we're going to start with this one. We're going to kill it. Watch what the Fjordhawk does. Watch the taming bar as well as the taming effectiveness. Right there. So it is getting quite a bit per bite, but this was a 150 perfect tame, nothing else. Next on, we're going to move on to the Fjordhawk, the Ovis that I tamed at 150, then pretty much put every point in health. This is quite important there. So, of course, now we're going to be contradicting the theory where bigger is better for the Fjordhawks, right? Just watch what happens right here. 1 bite, 2 bites, 3 bites. So that in 3 bites, folks. So this is basically the best creature to use as far as I can tell. It does like the Ovis. And of course, if you do level it in health, it does help with taming it a lot quicker, as you can see right there. This is just basically what I found from my test. But as you can see, we have a level 222 Fjordhawk from a 150 that we spawned in, so we basically gained an additional 5 levels on the Fjordhawk, which is pretty darn good. Now, what can this bird do? Well, apart from the fact that it will show you creatures that have lost health with a little like plus icon, and the color will vary depending on how much health the creature has left, from like an amber to a red color when it's near death. It will also, of course, retrieve all of your things on your body when you die. So right here, I have committed suicide. I have died. You heard the sound of a bag being looted. I'm going to respawn back at a bunk base. Now this can be anywhere across the map. Basically, the Fjordhawk will teleport the bag right next to you if you have it on your shoulder. So let me just get through this animation. Right here is the bag that the Fjordhawk has dropped off. All my things are in there. Of course, I'm going to get rid of all this garbo, pick up all of my things. And of course, with that said, the Fjordhawk will be right close to your body as well. Now, on top of that, of course, the Fjordhawk, once you have it on your shoulder, will show various icons on the map that you may be interested in. So, of course, we don't want to respawn. So it's a bit fiddly right here. Let me just pick this guy up. Perfect. Now, it will show you a couple of icons. So, for example, it will show you dead creatures that you can use a Fjordhawk to harvest with. And, of course, bags from creatures that have died on the ground. It'll have like a little skull and bones type of icon, and right there is my old body. Now I want to get rid of it. I don't really want to harvest my own body, so what I'll do is I will use the Fjordhawk to harvest it for me. There we go. And of course it sits right next to the bag. Now actually that is my old bag, so I'm going to show you what there is in the bag just to kind of show you what was left and why there's a bag there where I died. That is exactly basically the only thing that will be left is my implant, which is good enough for me. That is pretty much it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please do not forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button, share, commenting, and subscribing. And of course, until next time, stay safe, folks.